Hi everybody, and welcome back to video 2 of our series. Today we're going to be playing a slight variation of the deck we played last time in my video one of many. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But basically we've swapped Smite for Mend, and we're going a little bit more control-esque, so we're going to try and make the game last a little bit longer. And by swapping Smite for Mend, we get to cut some of the life gain, and so we get to play Night Market instead of Sword Saint, which generates a lot of value and allows us to continue to activate our path with Disc without having to discard Born Again if we haven't found it yet. It also gives us Ramen for additional activations, which is all great. Divine Compass can help us find answers we need when we need them. And Lavish Proxy made its way in here to help keep us alive. And Herald of Conquest. This is my favorite card that I never get to play, so I'm actually really excited. I got a test game against the AI with this deck. Other than that, this is the first time I played this deck, this variant, but let's get into some games. And remember, don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I will be streaming Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Link will be in the description below. Like and subscribe to the video if you're enjoying the content, so you know when my next video comes out, and let's get into some games. Alright. So we're on the draw, so we get a free activation on turn 1. So we're probably going to lead with Eager Recruit. Activate our power, discard the token into Night Market to go ahead and start generating value. Probably into Barkeep. So probably going to burn Serendipity, Eye of Freet. And I think 2 is a good spot for Night Market, so I'll go ahead and start there. I forgot to discard, but it's okay. Our turn 2 is already taken up, so it's not a big deal. And because our opponent is playing Reanimator, we will go ahead and hold on to this Metamorphosis for their first Necromantic. And already we've picked up a Ramen. Things are looking good. Now we just need to find a Born Again. And we'll be in a really solid spot. So, surprise, surprise, they have the Necromantic. I think we'll go ahead and activate our power, see if there's something else we can draw that we want to burn. We found the Born Again, so we'll go ahead and take that. Now that makes me feel less bad about burning Steam Bun, because without Born Again, I needed the Pike to discard to our path. So we'll go ahead and Metamorphosis this, and I'm not going to make the trade so that I can get value off Night Market. And we'll probably follow up with a Parry of the Gates. Again, we're going to discard Serendipity, Eye of Freet. Scion of Pride is very useful in this matchup.
Fortune favors us.
We'll take the Defy Death. We'll probably burn it, but I don't see us needing another Born Again. We'll go ahead and activate our power. The only rush minion they have is Sidecar, so And if they want Slayer, they can get Slayer, so, like, not having Slayer on their turn is not the greatest concern. Okay. So let's go ahead and draw a card. I could see Jinsook being pretty valuable in the future. I also don't want to play too much into a Thunderclap, because at this point, you got to assume they probably have seen one, and they have not burned one. Thunderclap or Magnus, of course. And so I think we're going to go ahead and burn the Defy Death here. We'll cycle our Steam Bun just to make sure that we're not missing out on anything. And then we'll deploy Serendipity, Eye of Freet. Probably take the Perfect Grade here. It's a little early for it, but at the same time we're working our way up, and they're gonna try and push it to the late game as well. So, and that card is just a house. Yep, as I mentioned, the Thunderclap. My opponent doing me a solid, making me look like I know what I'm talking about. And we're doing this. This fully heals our Serendipity, Eye of Freet. At the same time, it gives us more chances to find something better to burn, or gives us more information about what we want to burn. If I could burn this Ninetales, I probably would. So Iku on 7. Draugrs on 7 as well. All these are mostly answered by Scion of Pride. I think we're going to go ahead and ditch the Jinsook here. It's less useful at this point in the game. They haven't played very many small minions. And I think I want to hold on to the Perfect Grade, and Racer and Shadows could help us team up so that we can hold our Scion of Pride for something like Court Stag. And Deadly Passenger, Dark Passenger was a great draw there. It's a little bit unfortunate that I can't get Heaven to Heaven and back down, but
leave it all on the track.
still pretty great regardless. See what's going on. And this could possibly present lethal. So I think we're going to go ahead and burn the Heaven and back. I don't see us getting a really good shot to activate it. And then we'll deploy Ninetail Vixen, entice them to play over here. Or at least in lane 5. Cataclysm is pretty rough. But that puts them pretty low, so if we can stick a threat, we're in a pretty good spot. So, that being said, I'm going to draw for a different threat, but probably end up playing Scion here. We'll take the Dark Passenger. We'll play the Scion. And I think at this point, because a second racer is lethal, we'll go ahead and burn perfect grade. Like, if they manage to answer Scion, a second racer is still lethal. So we just want to get to 10. And as you see, Night Market has generated us a lot of value, and that is game. So, game opponent.
With bow and crown.
Leave it all on the track.
And Racer and Shadow lethal. Good game. All right. Feels great to play Herald of Conquest for the win in our first game. And let's hop into another one. Man, these queue times are excellent today. I'm sitting here all ready to edit them out, and they're just not even there. This hand is a little bit more awkward than our last one. And us being on the play as opposed to being on the draw really hurts, because we're not able to activate our first disc activation for free. So I think we'll go ahead and burn the Ninetales and deploy the Steam Bomb. And Tempest is up to something fun. I want to cycle here, just want to keep digging through my deck. We still haven't found an orange card, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't want to use Eraser and Shadows for this, especially when I have like Jinsuk and a bunch of life gain. So this must be his mono orange deserts list.
Reporting. Do we have a mission? Reporting.
And we might need the body, so we'll hold on to the parser recruit. Actually, we'll go ahead and play Barkeep.
Welcome.
And activate Disc before we make any more decisions. That is a tough one. That is really tough. Obviously, Parry of the Gates is probably the better card, but we're not even able to cast it right now. So I think I'll go ahead and take Night Market. Go Go ahead and burn the Shroud of the Pit.
Do we have a mission?
Alright. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. And I'm not an expert on this Mono Orange Deserts list, but I feel like there's not that many threats that are bigger than this, so we'll go ahead and burn our Spirit of the Way. Scion is a little worrisome, but not a lot we can do about that.
Your strength.
Oh, gross. Now he gets to pry to place it. Ugh. Yeah, this game is going horrendously. Well, there's a parry. Yeah, we're not able to deploy Lamp of Wonders with parry.
Fortune favors us.
We'll go ahead and take an orange card to burn, because we're in no position to be casting this anytime soon. And we're gonna dig. I guess Spirit of the Way. This is not the droid I was looking for. We're in a pretty rough spot, but we have some answers. If we can find an Armageddon Angel. It does not look like that's going to be the case. And we are dead.
Fortune favors us.
We never got a chance to deploy the night market even.
Leave it all on the track. Leave it all on the track.
Tempest, quit BMing. That's not cool, bro. Not cool, bro. Like I said, we're dead. Not a surprise. We weren't able to do enough in the early game, and that temptation into Pride of Place was a real backbreaker. So, not much we could do there. It happens. And that is part of the downside to playing a more control version as opposed to playing the more smite heavy version is, like, we're relying on mend, but when we don't have the time to activate our power because we're just so far behind on board, the lack of life gain really takes a toll. And then on top of that, because you're more of a control deck and less of a smite deck, you also have to be able to find the answers you're looking for, and since we couldn't find Armageddon Angel or anything like that, we just fell too far behind. Which happens. It's alright. Not a big deal. Alright, so again, here we're on the play. Our hand is a little bit more color correct. But we don't have a really good 2. And seeing Rainbow plus Impel kind of leads me to believe that we're playing against Valkyries. Not too surprising. So we're gonna go ahead and take this trade just to be mana efficient. Armageddon Angel is a great card if we can last that long. The plan is to burn Serendipity, Ifrit, and then play Hotel Barkeep. And actually, I will burn Dark Passenger here. But I will activate the power on my turn. This way, if they have a way to buff both the power and toughness, this still ends up trading most likely. This does also make it easier for them to trade, but I'd rather not fall behind on board. At this point, we just want to survive to Armageddon Angel, so... As you can see, Disc is a path that really wants to be on the draw. It just operates a lot smoother. When it has the first turn free activation.
Let's do this. Fortune favors us.
Night Market is pretty great here. Eager Recruit is another orange card. I'm going to hold faith in my deck's ability to draw me another orange card and go ahead and take the Night Market. Again, we might find ourselves in a spot where we don't have the time to deploy this, but... And you've always got to be careful with Valkyries. because of Allfather's Horn once they get to 6.
Is that all you've got?
And that's a great target for Spirit Away. And there's our orange card. So I'm going to go ahead and burn Night Market here. Spirit Away that, and then plan on next turn Racer and Shadows plus Ninetail Vixen.
Yes, yeah. Brilliant.
That's annoying. So here I think we're going to draw a card. We're going to play Ninetail Vixen with the intent to trade.
How intriguing.
And we've made it to 7 without dying, assuming we don't die this turn, which I think is pretty unlikely. I mean, it's definitely in the realm of possibility when you consider double Allfather's Horn. Like, double Horn plus Giant Stairway under Magnus is lethal. But there's only so much you can play around Horn, and you really can't play around double Horn. Like, not really. Which does kind of create a lot of feels bad games, in my opinion. So we do have a Spirit to get back, so we will get a little bit of value off the Ninetails. And this is a way to play around double Horn. All right. So we have Slayer, right? No, we don't have Slayer. Well, we can get Slayer. And then we can crack into this. Take that off the table.
Leave it all on the track.
And then double Racer this down.
Leave it all on the track.
And from an empty board, I'm not worried about dying, so I'm going to hold on to all my cards. And we'll pass the turn. Brainstorm is a little unfortunate. It looked like we were about to run them out of cards. So, sad to see that. But now we're starting to generate room to activate our path. So things are looking up for us. We're definitely not in the clear yet, but with Valkyries, it's kind of hard to ever say that you're in the clear, so to speak.
To battle!
So one thing we can do to keep our nine-tail vixen alive is burn this metamorphosis on this Thane, and then Racer and Shadow. Since we have Slayer, it'll go over the armor too. And since we're really only using one card, since we're likely to get a Racer back because Nine-Tailed Vixen is still alive, I'm not too opposed to this. And this still leaves us 2 mana to go ahead and draw a card.
Leave it all on the track.
This is a tough one. Can I take both? Oh man, this is a tough one. So at this point, I think I'm gonna go ahead and burn Scion. We are at kind of like the orange cap. We really don't want to burn too many more orange cards. And I'm not going to attack with Nine-Tailed Vixen so that it heals 1 and gets out of Thunderclap range. I think keeping this on the table is worth much more than 2 damage. And our opponent seems to be struggling with this lock as it is. So there's a 7-drop Valkyrie that gets all the Valkyries back, so we're checking their graveyard to see what they would get back if they deployed it.
Let's do this. See you in Valhalla.
Alright, and then now we have a spicy play of I don't know if we have the mana. Yeah, it's so we're gonna activate our path, discard our Born Again. We're going to Racer and Shadows this down. Then Jinsook
Your strength.
to give this -2/-2, and then take that out with our Nine-Tailed Vixen and pass the turn. Yeah, I was worried about a Thunderclap, but we're still in a pretty solid spot. Lavish Proxy is a pretty beefy body, and they don't have a lot of hard removal, if any. Cataclysm.
I know the way.
And with them going empty-handed, I think I'm going to go ahead and deploy the Armageddon Angel. We'll get Parry to follow up. And be in a pretty good spot. Like I said, they lack a lot of hard removal. They rely heavily on beefy creatures trading. And we need to save this last gem spot for green. So we won't be burning anymore unless it's a green card. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we know they have an enchantment in hand. So with Racer and Shadows plus Steam Bun, we can make this trade.
Leave it all on the track.
And now that we've found a second green Born Again, we can go ahead and burn the first one. Heal up a little bit. And be in a very commanding spot.
All right ahead.
So draw a card, see what we can get. Shroud of the Pit is great. And we want to pull them away from their stairway. So and I think we're gonna not activate this so that way we can pull a Jin Suk and move things over next turn, and we'll pass the turn. Outside of Loki's Veil, which I doubt they're running, they have no artifact removal in blue.
Let's do this.
So let's just go ahead and activate, discard Born Again. We'll Dark Passenger here. And Perfect Grade should wrap this up nicely. So let's see what else we can draw. We'll take the removal spell. We've got Perfect Grade, so we'll deploy the Lavish Proxy, and the lock is essentially in place. We can almost get Armageddon Angel back off, Shroud of the Pit. We're not worried about a 3/6. But we will go ahead and kill it. And that's game. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. As I've said before, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and hit that like, subscribe button if you enjoyed the content. I will be producing videos pretty regularly, looking at Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And we'll see you next time. Bye.